So this is the solar portion of my emergency backup power system. That's what it looks like finished there. I wish the wiring would have turned out better. I didn't buy all the components at the same time, so I didn't lay it out great. I may redo it someday. This here, I wanted some kind of interface in between the long wire run and the solar panels. Since it's a temporary setup, it's not going to be permanent. I wanted a way to hook everything up easily. So I used a double pull single throw switch, so I had a way to turn it on and off, so I'm not plugging in the panels or the load under a load. I have a way to turn it off. And so I bought one of those Amazon solar meters. So we're connecting the power to that there. And this way I can turn off both sides, the positive and the negative. I'm not switching just through one side. That's the solar output going to the switch. And on the negative side, the other side of the switch there is going to go through a shunt. And that is a pretty cheap looking shunt. It works okay. It's not like what a Victron shunt looks like. But I don't think I'll be using this very often. I am going to do some experiments with it here in the future. We'll check it out in the dead of the winter, see how it works, and in the middle of summer, and maybe some time in between. I saw those pliers on some YouTube channel. It's really a wrench shaped like pliers. And they work pretty good. I like them. I'll list everything in the description, and I'll list those also. So here I was trying to be really careful to hook this up correctly. I've hooked up many shunts before in the past. And of course I got this one backwards. We'll see that later. But I don't think I've ever hooked one up backwards before, so I don't know if the instructions are wrong or my eyeballs were wrong. So this was another excuse for me to put wires in a box. So your load goes through your big terminals and your meter hooks up to your small terminals. The small wire that's on the big terminal is power for the meter. So there I'm just checking the fit for the lid. Make sure I don't have to move the wires anywhere. But I like to attach the components with Velcro. I've been doing that on a lot of my boxes I build, like for the relays and stuff, and it works out pretty good. Nothing's come loose. And the other boxes, some of them get dropped pretty frequently, more frequently than I'd like, and nothing's come apart. But if you have to change something, you can pop them out pretty easy. So here we're going to secure the lid. And we can go out and get it tested. So I got about 100-foot run, and I found a 10 gauge extension cord. And so I'm going to use these marine style 30 amp plug and receptacle. So here I'm actually torquing down the terminals on that. I don't always torque everything because some of these electronic equipment, you break the screws or break them. I don't know if the torque setting's too high. I buy pretty quality torque wrenches, so I don't know if it's the torque wrenches, but I kind of test them out. This one was okay, so I torqued them all down. And trying to get these boots on is always fun. But I managed to get them on. Those are pretty easy to wire up. Now we're going to put in these circuit breakers. A lot of people use these on different YouTube channels. I thought I'd give them a try. It's nice because you can use them as a switch too to turn things off. And I probably didn't have to use these glands. I probably could have used some other strain relief. But that box, I think it came with some, so I did have to buy some bigger ones for I wanted to put a bigger gauge wire going out to the battery side. I just used a step bit to make the holes and mount those in there. And we're gonna wire them up. It didn't come with any instructions, and I couldn't find anything online. I think I found one video or one still of which way to wire these up. So I'm not 100% positive these are wired up correctly. If someone does know which side the load's supposed to be on, I'd like to know. I couldn't tell from the breaker or from looking it up. When I tested it, everything worked okay. I obviously didn't load test it and try to short or anything. I'm not going to do that. But and I did use a couple Victron components. I used a Victron shunt and the MPPT solar controller. So that's what I'm wiring up now, is the solar controller side of it. I wire clamped everything down. I'm not sure where the wires are going to go. You know, I'm used to wiring things up in an RV. And RVs, they like to shake, rattle, and roll. So you need to secure things pretty well in those. Those are those same pliers from earlier. They're really a wrench. I keep calling them pliers. Make sure you wire the solar controller through the shunt, not directly to the batteries, so it can measure that. So now we move on to go outside. I got these panels all set up and the clouds rolled in. It was nice blue sky when I had them set up, so I didn't do too much with them the rest of that day, but we did a little bit just to make sure everything's working. So when I first set up, the gauge wasn't working, so I had to reverse the wires on the shunt, so that started working. You can see I've got 3 amps coming out of the solar panels going in, and then out of the MPPT controller I got 8 amps going to the battery. So we'll do some future videos on some testing, and thanks for watching.